Welcome back to another Bake Day and Market vlog. In this video, I had the pleasure of going to the Garten Market and vending at their morning Saturday markets. Starting out here with the first clip is actually in the middle of the week. It is after work one day and I mixed up some cookie dough, and I usually don't show when I do this because it's on like a work day that's not a Thursday. And I mean, I don't know. On Thursdays, I'm like ready to go. I'm ready to get to bacon. But on other days, I don't really feel like recording too much. But this is when I usually make my cookie dough because my weekends are full of actual markets. Yeah, I have no free time. So I have to do it after work, after working my 10 hours. I'm making some cinnamon coffee cake dough. And I think I'm making a triple batch here. I'm not totally sure. But anyway, I made a ton of cookies, like over 50. And I portioned all of them out into their 2.5-ish ounces, and then I freeze them on a baking tray like that, so that way I can use them over the next month in the freezer. I think a month is the longest I've kept dough in the freezer just because I've been making so much and selling so much. Cutting myself off here to say LOL. I didn't realize that my KitchenAid was lowered and I was like, why is it not mixing? Is it broken? Girl, no. Right. There we go. Okay. Here's my starter right now. I fed it this morning. I fed it quite a bit. And she's all the way at the top. I'm having to wash the cloth that was on top. It's 5:10 right now. I'm gonna go for a little walk with my fiance and my dog, and then I'll come back and I will start putting everything together. These are starting to bloom. Okay, let's get into it. I am back on my Secret Lives of Mormon Wives watching. I watched season 1 when I like had the flu. I watched it all in one day. I was home from work. And then I started watching season 2, wasn't too much into it, so I like totally fell off. And now I'm back on, and actually by the time I'm recording this was over, I have finished all the way up to season 4, and we don't know if season 5 is coming out, but these girls work so hard, man. That was perfect. Like, to get those 4 seasons out, that's crazy. Anyway, here I am starting out my sourdough. So this is Thursday, and before I went to work on Thursday, I feed my sourdough starter a whole bunch. Not enough, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later in the video. But I am mixing up the sourdough loaves as well as the focaccia. Also, I don't know why when I'm doing these voiceovers, I say loaves instead of loaves. Loaves. V's are weird, okay? Anyway, that's what I'm doing here, just mixing up my loaves and my focaccia. This is a mix of the King Arthur's bread flour, and this is all purpose, but they're both unbleached. Organic unbleached. I failed to record my stretch and folds this week, so this is all you get. It's me mixing it up, and when I mix it up, I really get in there. I really get in there with my hands, get the gluten strands, whatever. I don't really know. I watch so much sourdough science stuff, but I don't really know what's true because everybody says different stuff. But anyway, I get in there. And then this Thursday, this afternoon, I also had to make a cookie cake. I offered to make a cookie cake for my cousin's birthday party as his little present. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. I had like been putting off mixing up the dough. I don't know why, but I ended up also baking it because I had to fully set before I could frost it, and the party was Friday, so the following day at like 6, but I had to leave early. Had to bake a lot the next day, so yeah, you get it. Anyway. I try to get up at 6 on these bake days, but it kind of depends on when I mix my sourdough and focaccia. Good morning. It's 6:30 right now. I got up at 6, but it is time to check out this dough and for me to make a matcha. Since I ended up not having as much starter as I thought I did, or I thought I would, I'm gonna figure that out. Don't worry. Of course, the air just kicked on. Okay, hopefully this sounds a little bit better than the air did. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, I didn't end up having enough starter yesterday as I thought I would, so I ended up just doing 2 sourdough loaves again and 4 or 5 focaccia. Last week I felt like the focaccia was not flat enough, which just means I put too much in it. No one's gonna complain about having too much, but I don't think it was really the flatbread that I was going for. so we will see. The doughs have been sitting out on my counter all night. I'm gonna make a coconut matcha before we get started here. I do need to move a little bit faster because it was really hard for me to get up this morning. I make matcha the lazy way. I'm just putting water in this a little bit and gonna heat it up. I've been having a really rough time at work. There are like people getting cut from the projects that I'm working on. I'm good right now, but we know there's more coming, and it's just a really bad place to be in. Um, it's exhausting, but I appreciate the place that I work because it gives me the flexibility to work the schedule that I work that I can do this as well. If I didn't have Fridays off, I wouldn't be able to do this. Our very hot water. Ow. My favorite cup. This is the matcha that I use. I have a big container and I just refill it. And I keep it in the fridge because I saw someone say that makes it fresh longer. I'm just gonna do a scoop. This is the lazy way, and also I just don't have the special tools that people have. I have my Toronti coconut. I'm gonna add a pump of that and a half. It's perfection. Clean hands, obviously. Here is my sourdough. So there's bubbles on top. We can see that. If I had a clear bowl, you'd be able to see bubbles here as well. It pulls away. Yes, it pulls away from the edges. Bubbles on top. You can see even more bubbles. Guys, I think it's fire. This is our focaccia. It doesn't have the same rules, but she's massive. Also, it being wiggly jiggly is a good sign. You can see the bubbles on top. This one is always a little bit stickier, but as you can see, it's pulling away. My hands are pretty clean. Whenever I'm doing this combo of sourdough and focaccia to sell, I always make sure that I handle the sourdough first because it's just flour, water, and starter and salt, and then focaccia second because the focaccia also has honey and olive oil, and some people might be allergic to those. Actually, people probably are. A lot of people. I know someone who's allergic to olive oil, so just need to be aware of while we're working with our hands. There are a lot of bubbles though, as we can see. So I'm gonna go rewash my hands and we will get started with shaping. Pre-shape. Turning on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, adjusting the camera, and we are off to the races. It is now time to divide up and shape my sourdough loaves as well as my focaccia. My biggest limitation right now is the supplies that I have. So like these loaf pans that I have 12 of them, and I do the double loaf pan method for making my sourdough. So the max I can make right now is 6. That might be enough for me for these garden markets, but you'll see. I have some bigger events when I just need more, and so I'm really debating what to get. Also, I want to get stainless steel next because these ones are like coated, and so I have to put parchment paper in every single one. One, it feels very wasteful, and two, it's just irritating to have to do that. I also decided on a whim that I wanted to make sourdough discard scones, so I went ahead and did that. I think I just made them plain this week, but I really, really like them. I mean, they're basically biscuits, right? I actually had a funny interaction after this in a later market vlog with the customer about scones. I'll have to explain it in that one. Sorry to say that and then make you wait. That's so rude of me. I'm also mixing up some of my seeded bread because that was on my pre-order this week and I wasn't going to make it, but then I did get one pre-order for it. So I went ahead and mixed that up. And I do use my KitchenAid for this. It is definitely not the best. Cookie cake is here, scones are there, sourdough's in there. Seeded is rising nicely. And the focaccia, it is pretty much ready to go. I just need to put more oil, dimple it, and add the toppings. I'll do that after the sourdough is done. And the cookies are here. I have them all separated, and then the peanut butter are like totally separated, just so they don't even come in any kind of contact. Just came out of the oven. I'm gonna make sure it hits around 200 to 210 degrees. All right, she's good. Focaccia is in the oven, and it is around this time that I should have been able to shape my seeded loaf, but something is not right. Something is not adding up here. Yeah, I don't really know what happened. I have a strong feeling that something went wrong with my yeast. Either the water I put in was too hot or something like that. But I ended up having to remake it on Sunday, which worked out because the person who pre-ordered this didn't show up. They're my coworker and they wanted me to just bring it to work because they couldn't make it to the market. Good morning. We are heading to the Garten Market. It is just about 7 o'clock and we are 8 minutes away. We're gonna go set up to sell some baked goods. There's a generator. It's really loud. I'm gonna go get a sparkling matcha lemonade, which was I got last week. It's so good. But I'll come around and show the setup. The cookies like this week, so they all look uniform, and also so I can put these ones away if the sun starts beating down on them. Scones are the item of the week. Got our focaccia, sourdough, pre-orders. Da 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 da. Here's my board. And I'll back up for the full view. Here's the full view. Coffee trailer. Full setup. I'll have to go check out the other area soon. We are halfway to the market and halfway to my goal. Hopefully it stays pretty steady. We'll have to see. My friends came to visit. All right, here's a booth update. We have about a half an hour left. The s'mores is sold out. Cinnamon coffee cake's almost sold out. Sold some scones. Most of the bread is gone. And here's my board update. I love crossing off the things that sold out. Here's a vibe check. Vibe check. Yeah. I didn't show in the main area today, but like when you first come up, there's like a bunch of picnic tables. Maybe I'll put a clip from the last video, but yeah, it's vibes. All right, it is 5 of 11. I'm gonna start packing up. We have to be out of here by 11:20, so let's go. just like that, all packed up. It is time for a market recap. Did that sound good? Let's do a market recap. Let's start off with my hot plate, which is where I do my weekly drops. People can place pre-orders on there. My menu this week was much smaller than last week, just because I kind of realized I baked too much. I baked too much. So this week I had the build your own cookie bundles, just because if people want to buy 5 cookies, I want them to be able to get the deal where it's $13, they get the $2 off. I put up 5 s'mores cookies, 5 chocolate chip cookies, 5 peanut butter cookies, 5 cinnamon coffee cake cookies, and 5 oatmeal raisin cookies. For bread, I put up 2 seeded breads, 2 sourdough loaves, 3 sourdough focaccias, and 3 rosemary sourdough focaccias. And that's it. And that's pretty much all I was making, except last minute, as you saw, I did make the scones. That was a last minute decision, but I'm so glad I did that because it was fun and I really like the scones. I think they turned out really well. This drop got me 2 orders, so let's talk about them. One is from my friend, and she got 1 chocolate chip cookie, 1 cinnamon coffee cake cookie, 1 s'mores cookie, and a rosemary sourdough focaccia. Another one is from one of my coworkers, and he got 1 seeded bread and 1 sourdough focaccia. 2 orders were placed, 6 items were sold. The sales were $28. Tips? The tips, okay. $4.80, and the credit card fees $1.57, and I also made sure my friend used the discount that was active, and so there were discounts of $1.50. No weird outstanding orders this week, like people like wanting to send me money directly, thank goodness, because I hate tracking that stuff. At the market this week, I had 12 transactions, which is exactly $4 an hour, as well as my 2 pre-sales. The gross sales was $85. There was a discount of $1.60, and that's about it. That does not include the credit card transactions, because most people at this market pay with credit card. I don't know what it is, but like every single person, I think I got handed 1 $10 bill. Every other person, 11 transactions with card. I'm so glad that my friends gave me their card reader to use, because it's so much easier than me having to pull it up on my phone and have people tap my phone. I don't like doing that. I feel like it's not as professional as I would like to be. I don't know if I said it in this video, but my goal is to make $100 at these free markets. It's only 3 hours, but $100 should be doable. We did not hit that this week, and I like to make $150, including pre-orders and other things. And we also did not do that this week. I think with pre-orders, what did I say? It was like $29. So I don't know what that is. I haven't put it into my spreadsheet yet, but yeah, that's what it is. That's what it was. Gotta say, this market is great for the community aspect of it. I really love talking to the other vendors and seeing people who come every week. I've had someone buy from me every week, which is actually amazing to have a little regular. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here, and I will see you guys in the next video, the next market vlog. Bye.